I just think about when I get out there, just doing what I got to do. Everything else is not in my hands, so I worry about it.
Shedeur, play fake, looking end zone, lofting back corner of the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown, Caden Davis. And Shedeur Sanders has his first career NFL touchdown.
Pleased with Shedeur, pleased with the offense.
Shedeur gunning, end zone, sliding, catch, that's a touchdown. Put him up. It's another one for Caden Davis. And the Browns take the lead. Shedeur Sanders has his second touchdown throw of the first half.
It's going to be a circus. You thought it was big now. Can you imagine Cleveland radio this week?
Audio courtesy of the University Hospitals Cleveland Browns radio network and volume. That was John Middlecoff saying it's going to be a circus. And I said right at the beginning of the show, fine, I'll be the ringmaster because I'm as excited as anybody. I can't imagine. I could not have asked for a better outing from Shedeur Sanders on Friday. I could not ask for better. At 2 o'clock this afternoon is Must Listen with Jonathan. Did he get in over the weekend? I didn't get a chance to see. So 2 o'clock this afternoon is going to be Must Listen. You got to hear what Jonathan says. I mean, Jonathan was the conductor of the Shedeur train. He bought the jersey for Shedeur. It's a number 2 jersey because he bought it before the draft. He has which should you just get another number 12 jersey for Shedeur because he's making the team. After what he did, that's done. That whole conversation with some of the people going, well, guys, he's a 5th round pick. No. He's making the team. He's making the team. That is absolutely positively happening now. So I don't want to hear nothing crazy out of that. Friday was, and we did Super Bowl Super Browns right at the beginning of the show. Friday was as exciting as I thought a preseason game could ever be. And we do preseason excitement almost as good as anybody in the country, maybe even the best. I just could not believe. I thought it could go any way. I had no idea how to take it in. I thought it could go just wonderful as it did, or it could go horrifically wrong. And I got to tell you, because I was so nervous about the non-reps, the non-experience, in a game setting, in a team rep setting with Shedeur, I thought, man, this thing could go straight to hell. And man, by the end of the night, I'm in my cups a little, and I'm texting some of my Steeler fans that I know, saying nasty things to them. One in particular who happens to host in the afternoon over there, getting very nasty with it. I enjoyed it. I don't know how you can be a Browns fan and not enjoy that. If you're the biggest hater in the world, then I guess this is not going to be a fun experience whatsoever. You are just biding your time to wait to tell everybody I told you so. I don't know why you would over a 5th round guy, a guy who fell to the 5th round, but fine, you do you. I want to know, though, for the people who were skeptic, and we did have one get in the first hour, for the people who are skeptic.
Oh, they are getting in online.
What?
Holy cow.
Did he do anything to win you over? What did he do to win you over? Did he help himself in your cause? If you're one of the people who do not like him, did not want him, did things change on Friday night in that performance for you?
Which I do not understand why, outside of, all right, you don't like people that have built a brand for themselves the way that he has, although that's coming to the sport in basically every capacity. All these guys that have NIL and transferred and played at 5 high schools and 4 college teams. Like this is the future of the NFL in many ways, a lot of these players. But outside of that, I don't understand what he's done to make people get irrationally mad about who he is. Maybe it's just feuding with his fans, because he does have a fan base. We've seen that before. We've had players come into the Browns that have had their own fan base, that we've had these debates about how welcoming we'll be as Browns fans, because we're going to be Browns fans forever. We've been Browns fans for a long time. We've been Browns fans for decades, some longer than others. And a lot of people kind of come in, and we know that, it happened with Baker, happened with Johnny Manziel, happened with Odell Beckham. Like, we're still Browns fans, and their fans aren't. The fans of those guys aren't. Who knows when it comes to Shedeur Sanders? I have no idea. But sometimes you got to get off the internet. Stop feuding with people on the internet and just be a fan of the team and recognize that regardless of what your expectations were for a 5th round pick in the first game where he didn't have first team reps and where he was being called, it's some of the guys that have talked about it. The fact that Like, we sabotaged him? We sabotaged him, Ken? We sabotaged him? Did that look like a player that was sabotaged and set up to fail?
No.
Right?
I was one of the ones that were worried about it. I'm like, man, this is going to turn into it, whether you guys like it or not. And some people just, because I think they want to try to live in reality of it, but I'm going, man, whether you like it or not, this turns into a referendum of Kevin Stefanski if he goes out here on Friday and struggles. And somebody asks, is it still a referendum? I go, a referendum can go good and bad.
But I'm already seeing Kevin.
It did make me feel better about Kevin. It did make me feel better about him. But I'm already
seeing people not give Kevin credit. In fact, they're doing the opposite and saying that these guys are doing everything they can by burying him on the depth chart, 4th overall. They're doing everything they can to sabotage him, and he played well in spite of that.
But
I am seeing people, instead of, hey, boy, maybe Stefanski does a really nice job preparing guys. And you see what Mary Kay wrote over the weekend that was highlighted, and I saw a bunch of national people were putting what she had put out there, all the extra coaching that Stefanski had done, standing right behind him as he was making sure to get the complex terminology in and the pre-snap procedure to make sure that he could get up to speed. Because as Mary Kay wrote, like, Dylan was ahead on all those things. Yeah. Dylan Gabriel was far ahead because of all the games that he had played and the type of coaching he had gotten. And so it was getting him up to speed.
I came away feeling better about Kevin of it. But I want to know, did he do anything to change maybe your preconceived notion? Did he do anything to help win you over? 216-474-0092. Here is former NFL scout John Middlecoff on volume with Colin Cowherd about Browns fans wanting Shedeur Sanders now over Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett.
It's going to be a circus. You thought it was big now. Can you imagine Cleveland radio this week? I mean, they're not going to want to see one snap from Flacco. No one's going to want to see Kenny Pickett.
It's a very Tebow feel, but he's much better than Tebow.
Way better. I mean, he's a quarterback.
Right.
Now, can he be a good quarterback? And this is where, if I'm the owner, listen, I'll give you a month, because as the head coach, you can't just walk into Myles Garrett if Myles goes, I don't think he's quite ready yet, and not play the veteran guy. But if we're 1-3, 1-4, I'm making the switch quicker than some teams do. Yeah. Remember, like when Lamar came in for Flacco, it was like the end of October. I'm not waiting that long.
Yeah.
To me, if I'm Haslam, I'm already like, at minimum, let's get like 10 games. We got 2 first-round picks. If we're bad anyway, we're going to be drafting a quarterback. Let's get a big sample size. Who knows? Maybe we don't keep him. We can flip him.
I mean, at first it sounded crazy, and then it ended up being a pretty fair clip right there. By the way, he must be listening to you with the Tim Tebow-esque conversation there, because you were the first person I ever heard bring that up, how this seems to be a Tim Tebow situation, except one guy I think was supposed to be a first-rounder. The other one ended up being a first-rounder because, I mean, Josh McDaniels made a tremendous mistake right there. But either way, watching Shedeur on Friday, I don't know how you could – if you're a big-time skeptic, or you're just – if you're a big-time skeptic and you're just addicted to your argument, then I guess he didn't help win you over at all. You have to have, if you're a Browns fan, you live on hope. And I know that there's plenty of people who have been, we won't get fooled again. We won't get fooled again. The over-under is not high. This team is still not expected to win a whole bunch. It's what was said right there in that clip. This team is not expected to be a very competitive football team. So you could start the season with Joe. I'm still a proponent. Number one guy starting the year against Cincinnati is Joe Flacco. But Shedeur's my number 2 now, because the other ones, they just don't excite me. If I get a chance to see him, maybe that'll change my mind. But until then, I don't get excited over any one of those guys or feel that we have a great future with either one of those guys. And you could say that's not fair because they're hurt. Yeah, it's not fair because they're hurt. That's what happens. It's professional football. It's professional sports. So they don't get a chance to excite me. I get excited by Shedeur, and I go, okay, there were plenty of people around who said he had first-round talent. And I see some of the first-round talent. Jordan Schultz, man, NFL guys texted me. Jordan Schultz on Friday saying, man, NFL guys texted me. They're shocked at how well he's doing. So something wasn't adding up in the offseason. And then you find this. If you can make it work, and we're only beginning this journey. If you can make it work, obviously you can pay dividends for you. That's why it's like, do you see yourself, ask yourself this, do you see yourself celebrating the success? Before I go to the phones, do you see yourself celebrating the success of the Browns with Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do you see yourself celebrating the success with Joe Flacco? We already have. We've already seen it. Not that it's going to happen this year again, but we've already seen it. Can you see yourself celebrating the success of the Cleveland Browns with Shedeur Sanders? Well, I have a sample size now. How could I not say yes?
Yeah, well, part of it is I do want to be fair and look. There's no people say pump the brakes. Well, whatever. We're all talking about
You don't pump
preseason
brakes
games
anymore.
But I mean, Tanner McKee was awesome for Philadelphia. He probably had the best quarterback game of anybody in week 1 of the preseason. Can I see the Eagles having success with Tanner McKee? No, probably not. Easton Stick. Like, we can go through some of the guys that did have, good performances. And that's where part of me is like, all right, so what's real? What's real from the Shedeur stuff? Like, we're in agreement the whole first hour. Like, this is fun. This is exciting. You should have been excited on Friday. Anybody that wanted to throw a wet blanket on that on Friday night, then why do you even watch football? Eventually, somebody is going to become the quarterback of the Browns long term. I don't know when that's going to happen, but eventually someone is. Are we going to throw a wet blanket every step of the way until the guy is, hoisting a Lombardi trophy? Like, this is hard. This is really hard, and there is some guesswork involved. I mean, Brock Purdy, where he was taken, is on the fringes of being a top 10 quarterback, certainly top 15, top half of the league. Like, it's eventually, you got to admit, it's real now with Brock Purdy. So I don't know if Shedeur is going to be that guy, but he laid some groundwork. He did lay some groundwork. Yes, lots of guys have played well in the preseason and ended up being out of the league or been terrible. So that's why I do stop and say, how much of it is real? When is Shedeur going to be able to, play against the first team for, an extended period of time and play with the first team and then go up against a defensive coordinator that is game planned against him? Yeah, we're far away from that. We're far away from that. But all he can do is do what's been put out in front of him. And I think he passed with flying colors.
The Shedeur success, it's hard to say Shedeur's success without sounding drunk. Does Shedeur's success mean Pickett or even Gabriel could be on their way out?
Kenny, we've gotten a lot. As you can imagine, the start of the show, especially you, I mean,
What?
we were having fun. We are having some fun to start the show, and we are fully aware it's preseason game number 1. And throughout the show, once that video got posted, nice job with the video team here at 92.3 The Fan. Of course, you can catch all of it on YouTube. It's just a matter of time before we go live on YouTube every single day. We are catching some flack for overreacting to a preseason game. Fine, we're okay with that. We knew what we were walking into today. But here are some of the specifics on X. Make Believe Season says he started 8 of 15 for 65 yards before UFL players were hitting the field for the Panthers.
Oh, God.
He could rub blank on the walls. And after one preseason game, you guys are losing your mind.
Get mad and stay mad. I don't give it.
Pickett will have a better career. Kenny, he closed by saying Pickett will have a better career.
I almost forgot I was on the air. Oh, boy. All right, hold on. You keep reading. I just got to remember that the light's on.
He also added that he was just making one read. All right, well, made some good reads. The one read I saw, pretty good reads.
I like the read where he threw it between 3 guys in the window for a touchdown.
We have not.
Said it there
I'm
too.
pretty positive the throw to Luke Florio was not just waiting for Luke Florio to get open.
Hey, put your one arm up there, Luke.
That first touchdown throw was so freakish. Like, it was such a dime. And I feel like we've undersold it so far.
Because I've been excited about the whole performance.
Yeah.
I've been excited about the whole performance. The touchdown passes are the icing on the cake, but the whole performance was great. It's the internet. You want to find negative people? You don't have to look that far.
But it's so funny with the stuff that people were criticizing him for. And look, in the lead up to the draft, he clearly, him and his quote team, they did him no favors. They only talked to a few teams. They had an inflated view on where he was going, and it cost him. It did absolutely cost him. It wasn't his talent. None of us ever thought he was a 5th-round talent. Nobody said that.
No.
We could debate legitimately whether or not he was a 1st-round talent, and fine. Obviously, no teams had him as a 1st, a 2nd, or whatever.
No.
But you could tell by the stuff. I saw some of that in college. Like, I saw him threading the needle on brilliant throws. Obviously, the buying himself time. There are a lot of guys in college that do buy themselves time in college. They drift around, they pat the ball 1,000 times, and make a play down the field. That can't play in the NFL. That was Johnny football.
But I can't keep giving air to every single one-off account. Like, you just got to understand. There are guys who either didn't watch him in college, didn't like him because of who his dad is, whatever. They use the QB wins thing against him in college. They don't understand just how terrible of a program, almost said franchise, terrible of a program Colorado was before they got there. They're just not going to believe it. So I can't give that much energy to it, or we're just not going to get anything done. I think by and large, a lot of Browns fans are either over the moon excited or pleasantly surprised, or there are some cynical Browns fans out there who go, yeah, you guys got excited over Brandon Whedon, you got excited over Brady Quinn, you got excited. Okay, fine. If you just decided you ain't going to get fooled again, it's going to be a long year. Because, again, they're not probably going to win a lot of games. So I got to have something to look forward to, because there wasn't a whole lot to look forward to last week. And if he plays well, it changes a lot of things. And I hope he does, because I admitted it last week and I'll admit it this week. I pull for him because I think he has the highest ceiling. It gives us the best chance to dig ourselves out of the hell that is the Deshaun Watson contract. It gives us the very best chance to do that. If he plays well and we go, you know what? We're cool on Garrett Nussmeier or Drew Aller or Lenore Sellers or Cade Klubnik or any of the other guys. We got this guy and we can add 2 weapons with him, or we can add an offensive lineman and a weapon with him, or whatever we want to do in the draft, and we can start to go in that right direction. Great. It would. I am so hopeful that he can dig us out of this trench that we are in. And I'm giving even more hope after a great opening performance by him. Now, there's another question. What'd you think of the intro? I said I'd bring it up at 8. It's 8 o'clock. It's time to talk about that intro.
Well, I was a little confused at first what was exactly going on. And then I saw some people bagging on it on social media.
Well, you were at the yacht club, so how did you take that
so
in?
I wasn't really as dialed into it. I saw it afterwards.
Found a way to put Mason to bed really quick, didn't he? There, huh?
I took Kenny's advice on this one.
I don't live in the real world.
I just left my wife and kids. That's apparently all I needed to do to have the Ken Carvin experience. Yeah. It was nice to be out.
Nice.
It was very nice to be out.
At the yacht club of all places.
Living the blessed life. Yeah, a lot of sailboats over there. But Kenny, I didn't know what was going on. And then I didn't even realize, so I'm guilty as charged, who the dude was carrying the stick and what the stick was all about.
So it was Tony Brown. I believe he got that. I want to say he got that in Ghana over the offseason. So I called it a staff. He called it Excalibur.
Okay.
There was another word that was used for it, not just the stick. There was another word other than staff that was used, and he named it Excalibur. And there were a lot of people, including Pony, because Pony's an idiot, who thought that that Shedeur had gotten like 5 extra credentials to walk into the stadium with his music playing. Tony Brown had the boombox. Tony Brown had Shedeur's music playing. I got to admit, it is a little bit weird to listen to your own tracks on the way in. It's a little odd to me.
Wait a second. Morgan Wallen comes in to his shows.
That's what I was thinking of, though. That's what I was thinking. Any year this weekend?
Oh, is it?
I think it's this weekend.
Might be this weekend.
I can't name a single song that guy sings, so but I think he's here this coming weekend because they're on the road to Philadelphia, and then they'll be back against the Chargers the next weekend.
Morgan Wallen?
No, the Browns. Hopefully the grass will be in good condition by that time.
15th and 16th.
All right, 15. 2 shows over at Huntington Bank Field. So there you go. You can get all the Morgan Wallen you want. Tone, your wife don't want you to go to that with her.
You know what? We've listened. We listened to some Morgan Wallen. I wouldn't say I'm like a fanatic, but we enjoy him.
I can't name a single song. I have no idea. I was asked about it on Friday. I thought Jonathan and Nick were hilarious with it because they were live on air while it was going on. And Nick was right. Knowing how Jonathan is, let's just call it what it is. Nick was right. If it weren't the quarterback he loved, Jonathan would have been all over him for it. But since it's Shedeur, he made a bunch of excuses, every excuse he possibly could to wrap his head around it. I'll point this out, though. Somebody asked me about it. Twitter Reactions brought to you by Scheib & Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. My last year of football was fall of 2003. I imagine there were things that I did in fall of 2003. I didn't even play. I was terrible. I'm sure there were things we did in the fall of 2003 that didn't make sense to anybody who are our dads who played in the fall of 1977. So I'm imagining here in fall of 2025, there's a lot of pregame routines that didn't make any sense to me when I was, quote unquote, playing, but a part of a football team in the fall of 2003. It ain't for me. It's for them. So the 49ers walking out with a great big boom box seems weird to me, but it ain't for me. It ain't for me. It's a new generation. It's a different generation of athlete.
The Browns defense in a 3-14 season dancing 342 times.
Like we make the jokes and we say, well, because we've said it about this, like when guys have their team of photographers. Shedeur is not the last quarterback who's going to have a bunch of camera people around him. He's probably one of the beginning. So if you don't like it,
can see where this is going.
Yeah, if you don't like it, guys, like there's not much I can tell you. You're going to have to get used to it or stop watching sports. You could always stop watching sports. You could always just say it's not for me. I don't know if I'd just say it's not for me based on a guy having a camera crew with him all the time, but that's what sports are about to be. And that's what we're into right now. Everything is on camera. Everything is filmed. Everything is documented so they can put it on TikTok or they can put it on YouTube or they can put it wherever so they can push their own private brands. That's the way this goes. So be it. The question is always, can you play or can't you? And on Friday night, he played, balled out. So you can try to be as critical as you want. And I'm sure if he would have sucked up the room, there would have been plenty of people who were very critical about it. Fair. But it's still up. Can you play or can you not play it? And if you can play the position, they certainly need to find a spot for you. Is that or is that not true?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the important thing is here. Yeah. Are we getting carried away? Of course. What else do we have to react to right now? It's
what else
football.
am I supposed to get carried away with?
We were 3-14, and every day we are hoping we get closer to solving the biggest riddle in Cleveland sports history, which is who's going to be the next quarterback. Every day we're hoping we get closer to that answer. And finally, someone gave us reason to think there could be an opportunity there.
But in all honesty, who's gotten that carried away today? Who's got that carried away?
We did at the start of the show, but that's what we do.
I didn't once say he's taking us to the playoffs. I didn't once say he should start week 1. You didn't either.
Yeah, we bounced him.
Owen didn't.
I think you bounced him to second on the depth chart.
I put him at second on my depth chart.
And obviously, I said in the previous few weeks, like there's what in terms of the depth chart of guys I care about, he's number 1.
So what's been so insane? I don't think there's been anything insane.
Well, I think the people who don't understand Super Bowl, Super Browns, who just see that,
whatever,
especially if you're not from Cleveland.
I mean, we've only been doing it for,
That's true. I get
years.
that.
I was born during 1 and 15.
But I heard a call yesterday Nick and Daryl took from California who was not a Browns fan. Who was checking in from LA. He's checking in on what was going on with Shedeur talk. I mean, those are the people that Shedeur is bringing in, right? Especially after a performance like that. Even if you weren't a Shedeur fan or a Browns fan, you're going to check in on this stuff now.
Of course. And I understand that some people, Super Bowl, okay, if you're just checking in on Super Bowl, Super Browns, you're thinking, guys, Super Bowl, Super Browns was born out of cynicism. If we want to just pull back the curtain on that.
I love this one. But H-Town on X says, a yearly tradition in that blank show of a city, preseason champs and blankety blank. And I go, finally, someone gets it. It's exactly right. It is a yearly tradition.
Which I will tell you this, right before we go to break, Scott Rabb?
Yeah.
He lives out in L.A. He was texting me during the game on Friday.
Dude, people were coming out of the woodwork.
Scott is as old and bitter about the Browns as you are going to find. And he was falling over himself with excitement over Shedeur. Scott was falling over himself with excitement over Shedeur.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would have traveled 3,000 miles to give him a hug. That's how excited we were on Friday night.